Hi, second grade. Welcome to today's tutorial on how to use Teams. So this is for students and families to help best navigate the website and use all the awesome features on here to help our learning. So right now we're on the main general channel for our Teams. You can see here it says general and it's highlighted gray, which means we're on it. Now post, it's kind of like a Facebook wall. If your parents have Facebook and they use it, where all the updates happen here, or messages. So all the newest updates are at the bottom. So oldest is at the top, newest at the bottom. As you see, students have been posting on here. I made a message that said welcome and post if you found the page, which was very exciting, and there were a lot of cute and fun pictures. We're going to be moving in the future that this channel will be for school information only, and questions about assignments. The fun, cute little pictures like you see here, or chance for you to talk to classmates, will be right here in the recess channel. So if you want to talk to a friend, you just come to the recess channel. And if you want to mention someone, let's see who I'll use in the example. You will do the @ sign and put someone. I'll do, like if I wanted to talk to Miss Carmody, I would type in her name, Caitlin Carmody, and it will come up and I will say, hi, how was your day? It'll come up here. So keep in mind though, these aren't private messages. You put it on the board and everyone will see it. Or if you want to talk to the whole class, you can say @students, and you'll see there's a little tag that says students. Every student in the class will be notified, and you'll say, hi, how was your day? Then if you send that off, everyone in the class will get it and will be able to respond. Another thing, because if you have the app or the phone, you can get notified for everything, and that can be a little overwhelming just to have a notification. So it's up to you. If you go to these three dots that say more options, you can click channel notifications, and then you can go in here and say turn them off. I like to keep channel mentions on because that says every time it gets mentioned, like someone says something really important. Recess channel, I'm going to do the same thing. Channel notifications, it keeps it as off. Yes. So then that way it's not really overwhelming and you get maybe 50 notifications in a day. Keeps that nice and cleaned up. So now that we have that, we're going back to the general page where I'll keep all of our class materials. First place I'm going to take you is to files. In files, you'll find things like the math menus and e-learning schedules. I'm going to try to daily upload our lessons, so this would have been Monday, May 4th as an example. You click it, and it will have just like what I would include in the email normally, but in a PowerPoint. It has the lesson and all the instructions. That's one place to find today the checklist for the day. Another thing that you can try would be to go back, see up here in the back corner, it'll take you back to the PowerPoints and the files. It'll take you back to the PowerPoints and the files. We can also go to class notebook. So instead of having individual files like on the drive, each student will have an individual notebook. So notebooks might seem overwhelming, but this is just what it looks like in the teacher view. When you go in, you'll only see collaboration space, content library, and your student's name. We're going to use Miss Carmody's account again as practice. So we're going to actually ignore collaboration space as a whole. We're not going to be using it. Content library would where you would go to find old assignments. I'll be placing, let's say for reading, there might be an example in there. Like for our reading response journal that we use in reading groups, which we'll be bringing out here, I have all the directions and options in here, where when you read a story, you can respond to your story by picking an option and looking at the example, but you can't type your response on this page. This will be it'll be locked. If you wanted to respond to it, you would have to go to your own notebook. And you'll see that if you have an assignment from me, it'll be in your notebook. So let's use reading for an example. So we have Katie Carmody's reading response journal. Write the name of the book you're reading It says draw a line to separate responses. So here I'm going to show you how to write and submit some lessons. So let's say it's your first day doing it. You're going to come up here and you're going to double click on here and you'll see this box appear. That's a box for your response. You can change the font and the size of it. I like to use Century Gothic. That's kind of how I write all my emails, but you can change it if you want or leave it completely the same as long as I can read it. So it says write the name of the book. Well, I'm reading, what am I reading now? I'll say I'm reading Super Fudge. If it's a title of a book, we're going to underline it. Super Fudge. And today is May 6th. So now I have that in my date. I'm going to choose my journal entry. Let's say I do number 1, find a word. So I would write 1, find a word, so I know which one you're doing. So then you can look up the word. I'd say, oh, the word is din. I want to know what that means. Din means a loud sound caused by lots of noise. Then I would use it in a sentence. I couldn't hear the instructions because the din was too loud. And there you have it, your reading response. When I say draw a line, you can go up here to where it says draw. You can select a pencil and a color. You can even go through and find a lot of different colors. You could choose how thin or thick you want your line. If you have a touch screen, you can draw on it. I have a mouse here, so I'm just going to draw a line with my mouse. So tomorrow when I do a reading response, I can go underneath and type. I might be reading the same book, Super Fudge. Let me underline it. And then I would just write the next time, the date for the next entry. And there you have it. A reading response will always be in this one place, so when I go and grade it, I can just go on in and give feedback. Feedback would be I could leave notes on the side, and I could say, here you would see MM from Miss McMahon. I would say, great job. I would write little notes, and I can go in and I can point to things I like, not cross it out, point to things I like. And I could do that on all your assignments if you put it in the right place. So that was something too that disappears. Do you see that little arrow there? If you click that, it'll open up to the notebooks again so you can find the ones that you want. So let's go through and look. I'm going to jump into my teacher only here, which you won't see, but they'll have examples of assignments. So for example, in math, you'll see this. You'll see the normal checklist like normal, and then I will put the link for the math video there, and you'll see that the day of. And also, as you follow along with the video with the problem of the day and the Common Core Quick Check, if you want to solve them before the video, and then check it with me, I'll have those right there on the side for you. I think that's kind of a good warm-up for your brain. These activities will become available on the day they're supposed to. So you're not going to see all of them at the start of the week. You'll see one at a time. If you know it's a math, science, social studies days, you would only find your math, science, social studies folder. As you see here, there's not a science folder, but we'll jump into that. So here is your social studies folder. I will have instructions up here. It says complete the answers. On the back, submit a picture or draw or type. So you have two options. You have a hard copy of this with you, a paper. You can answer it on the paper and then come in and you can press insert. You'd click on, I need to get rid of the drawing there. I'll press insert and you can go in. You can click. You have to make sure you click to make a new little box here, otherwise you won't get the option. You can click file and then you want insert file printout or insert as an attachment. You can do whichever one you want, but that's where you would put your copy of the paper so I could see it. That's like taking pictures and putting it in the Google Drive. Or you can come on here, which I think is pretty nifty, and use your touch screen to answer the questions. Like you can You can do the matching on the paper where you could say, oh, I know that. And then you could circle, so, well, let's see, I'm going to circle my choices. You can write on there. And then sometimes writing with the touchscreen isn't as easy. You can click the typing option and click here, and you can type on the line. Notice it doesn't really fit, so you might want to play around with it, see if you can stretch it out, see, and then make it fit on the line so I can read it later. You might want to increase the size, so you go back to size and font, move it around a little bit. You might want to play around a bit to see what works best for you, but then I can go back on and see, wow, you did that paper, and I can grade it right away. So we have that for all subjects. Reading, your turn and talk will now be in here, and I've included the anchor charts to help you out. So they will help give hints on how to solve these 3 turn and talk questions for your stories. I'll include the story name right there. All you have to do is you can click right in there, and you can type in your answer, or you can write it in with a pen. It is up to you. And finally, the writer's notebook, I'll say, add a picture of your writer's notebook, so that's when you would have to take a picture of your writer's notebook for me to see. But sometimes, like for the grammar lessons, I'll have some examples in here for you and some extra practice that will help you. So then you could submit your page right below for me to look at. But it'll give you some hints if you're having some difficulty on those papers. Okay, so those are our notebooks. And as soon as you put it in, it auto-saves, which is really cool, so you'll get to go back and access it. I mentioned earlier about the science, how there's not a folder for it. That's because science, you're going to find here. There's going to be a folder here. Let me just make it now for you guys. There's going to be a folder for science. And when you go into science, you'll find your PowerPoint with your instructions, and everything will be there ready to go. Another page I want to show you is assignments. We've practiced with forms a few times for religion and math. So here I have a religion quiz. On the day, it will pop up on our general feed. So it'll pop up on the bottom of this list. So right now, I wonder where this cute puppy is. And it'll say, oh, religion quiz today, and you'll have a link to it, and it will all be on Teams. And it will be directly connected to your notebook, which is really cool. Sometimes it takes a moment to load, so you have to be patient with it, but it will load. We're going to skip over grades for now, but it will keep track of your grades for me to look at. And finally, we have links. Links will take you directly to the pages we use a lot. I have the Into Reading, my YouTube channel, Prodigy, Go Noodle, and Class Dojo. Into Reading we'll still be using a lot. We'll still be taking quizzes on that format, but it's right here, easy to click straight to. So that's kind of a general overview of our Teams page. So as a quick review, students can use the recess channel to chat with each other. You can use the 3 dots to change notifications. Most of our information for class will be in the general file. If you're looking for a specific assignment, they will be in the files. All of student work will be done in the class notebook. It will be submitted and worked on here. As it loads up, sometimes it takes a moment. There will usually be this page, Welcome to Class Notebook. It'll talk about how to use it. If you're going to access your notebook, you need to press this little arrow here, and it will give all these options, but where you're going to want to look is in your Students folder. We're using Miss Carmody as our example here. So all you would have to do is press your notebook and go to the subject file that you're wanting to work on. So we had our example for Miss Carmody here in reading, her reading response journal, where she wrote her story, she told her reading response, and I could just go in and check it. So every day she'll use that same file, but when it's May 14th, she'll go, oh, May 14th, time to answer my turn and talk, and she'll answer there. And then you can go over, use your anchor chart to help you practice. All those resources are there. Another hint, where sometimes it gets really crowded on the screen and you want to see more, up here there's kind of an expander tool. You can press that and it'll open up for you. If you are also preparing to read and you don't have a parent there to help read the instructions, or you get stuck, there's a really cool feature on here I want to show you how to use, and it's called the Immersive Reader. So I'm going to highlight anything that I need help reading. I'm going to go to View, and I'm going to press this one. It says Immersive Reader, and there's a book with a little sound guy here. When you press that, it'll take you to this page. When you're on this page, it will read it to you. You just have to press play at the bottom. Let's see what it does.
Example. Reading Response Journal. Lost and Found. April 19th, 2020. Draw a picture. I thought it was interesting that the boy and the penguin were able to use an umbrella as a boat. I know the story is fiction, but I feel like that would be very dangerous. It was such a silly idea, and I think it shows that the author has a great imagination.
So it read it a little out of order. It read my example first, but it has the concept there where it will read to you, not just super like a robot. It will read to you the question or the examples and really help out during that process. So again, that's in View, Immersive Reader, and then you'll get to press play and read that. It also will do that for you on your assignments, so on the quizzes and tests, it will read the questions to you too. Teams is also great for calls. Instead of Zoom, we'll be able to switch over to the side here in my calendar. I'll be able to add in Zoom calls, and on our Zoom calls, we will show up in a big team and we'll see everybody kind of like Zoom, but except it's 4 at a time and the person talking will be seen, but it will be really organized and a lot of fun and on here. So if you guys wanted to call each other, you could use it on this platform too. All right, well, thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you found it useful and you're able to use Teams effectively. And if you have any questions, please let me know and I'm happy to help. All right, bye guys.